Two people walk into the same building on the same morning for the same job, same desk, same paycheck, same boss signing the same checks. 10 years later, one of them is quietly wealthy, calm, free, and the other one can't survive a single missed payment. They were never paid differently. Neither one was smarter than the other. Neither one worked harder. So what actually happened in those 10 years? The answer is something almost nobody explains to you, because the people who benefit from it need you to never find out. Your job was never designed to make you rich. And in the next few minutes, you're going to see, step by step, exactly why and what the wealthy do instead. Meet the earner. Every single morning he puts on the same blue blazer, pushes up the same round glasses, and walks into the same office. And here's the thing. He is doing everything right. He's intelligent. He's responsible. He shows up early. He stays late. He says yes to the extra project nobody else wants. And at the end of every month, a paycheck arrives. Right on time. It feels like progress. It feels like the system is finally rewarding all that effort. So he does a natural thing. He works even harder and waits for the day it all pays off. But here's the uncomfortable truth he hasn't noticed yet. The earner isn't building wealth. He's renting out his life, 1 hour at a time, and calling it career. And the longer he does it, the more normal the cage starts to feel. So let's name the trap clearly. A salary is a trade. You hand over your time. They hand back money. Simple. It feels completely fair. But every trade has a ceiling. And in this trade, the ceiling is you. Think about it. There are only 24 hours in a day. You can only work so many of them before your body and your life break down. So no matter how skilled you become, no matter how many promotions you collect, your income is permanently capped by the one resource you can never, ever make more of: time. This is why the boss sleeps just fine at night. He understands something the earner doesn't. The moment you stop showing up, your money stops too. Get sick, the money stops. Take a real holiday, the money stops. That's not financial security. That's a leash with a salary attached to the end of it. And the cruelest part? The harder the earner works, the more convinced he becomes that working hard is the answer. He's running faster and faster on a wheel that was built to never reach anywhere. But wait, you might be thinking, what about raises? What about promotions? Fair question. Let's actually follow the money. The earner gets a raise, 10% more. And for about a month, it feels incredible. He earned it. He deserves it. But then something quiet and almost invisible begins to happen. A slightly nicer apartment. A newer car with a slightly bigger payment. A few more subscriptions he'll never cancel. The whole lifestyle quietly expands until it swallows the entire raise whole. Economists have a name for this. They call it lifestyle inflation. And it is the exact reason a person earning $200,000 a year can still lie awake at 3 a.m. doing the same anxious math as someone earning $40,000. Read that again. More income did not set him free. It just raised the rent on his cage. A bigger salary doesn't break the trap. It upgrades the trap. It makes it more comfortable. And a comfortable trap is the single hardest one to ever walk away from. Now meet the system. And let's be fair about this. The system isn't some cartoon villain. It isn't evil. It's just ruthlessly efficient. It needs a steady supply of people who show up, follow the rules, and trade their hours in a predictable way. The whole machine depends on it. So from the time you were a small child, you were quietly trained for it. Sit still. Raise your hand. Follow the instructions. Get good grades so you can get a good job, so you can earn a steady paycheck, and be grateful for it. But notice what you were never taught. You were never taught how money actually grows on its own. You were never taught the difference between owning something and earning a wage. You were trained with extraordinary care to become an excellent employee and a completely helpless owner. And so the system hands the earner two things: a contract and a giant stop sign. The message underneath both is exactly the same. Stay in your lane. Keep producing. Don't go looking at what's on the other side of that wall, because the other side of the wall is the side where wealth is actually built, and almost no one is encouraged to climb over. And the system doesn't work alone. It has help. Meet the spender. The spender's entire job is to make the trap feel like freedom. New phone, new shoes, another weekend trip, all on the card. And the slogan is always the same: you work so hard. You deserve this. Every swipe feels like a reward, like a tiny celebration. But what's really happening is quieter and far more serious. He has handed his future self away, one purchase at a time, spending tomorrow's freedom, to feel good for an afternoon. And if the spender keeps walking down that road long enough, he slowly turns into someone else entirely. Meet the debtor. Shoulders collapsed inward, head hanging low, a teetering stack of red, overdue envelopes shaking in his hands. And here's the part that should stop you cold. The debtor isn't here because he didn't earn enough. He's here because in 30 long years of trading his time for money, he never once stopped to own anything. 3 decades of effort, and nothing left that pays him back. This is the end of the road the system quietly paved. And right now, millions of people are walking it, fully convinced it's the only road that exists. But it is not the only road. There is another one. And to find it, meet the mentor. Now, the mentor isn't special. He isn't a genius. In fact, he was once an earner too. Same kind of blazer, same leash, same wheel, until one ordinary day, he stopped running long enough to ask one simple question. Wait, who actually gets rich in this system? And when he looked closely, the answer wasn't the hardest worker. It was never the hardest worker. It was the owner, the person who owns the business, the shares, the property, the system itself. So the mentor pulls out his tablet, and he draws one simple line. The earner, he says, trades his time for money. Once, 1 hour, paid one time, and then it's gone forever. But the owner builds something that earns money again and again and again, even while he sleeps, even on holiday, even on the days he does absolutely nothing at all. And that is the entire difference between a salary and an asset. A salary stops the second you stop. An asset just keeps going. So understand this clearly. The rich are not rich because they found a way to work more hours. They got rich the moment they stopped selling their hours and started buying things that work for them. So how does the earner actually escape? Not by storming out and quitting tomorrow. That's a fantasy, not a plan. And it usually ends with the debtor. No, he escapes the same quiet way nearly everyone who's ever done it escaped. Slowly, deliberately, on purpose. Step 1. He keeps the paycheck. For now, it's a fuel, but he stops letting it vanish the instant it lands. Every raise, every bonus, instead of upgrading his lifestyle, he uses it to buy a small piece of ownership, a share of a business, a slice of the whole market, through an index, a skill that can earn for him even when he's not in the room. Step 2, and this is a beautiful part. He lets time switch sides. For the earner, remember, time was the enemy. It was the very thing being sold off hour by hour. But for the owner, time quietly becomes the ally. It becomes the thing that compounds. The exact same clock that used to drain him now slowly fills him up instead. It's slow at first. It's quiet. There are no fireworks, no overnight miracle. For a long time, it barely looks like anything is happening at all. And then one ordinary morning, he looks up, and for the very first time in his life, his money is working harder than he is. And there, on the far side of that bridge, stand the wealthy, relaxed, unhurried, holding something small and green and quietly growing. He is not smarter than the earner. He never was. He simply stopped trading his life away by the hour and started owning his future instead. So here's the truth to take with you. Your job is not the enemy, but it was never meant to be the destination. It's the fuel, not the finish line. The real question was never, how many hours can I sell? The real question is, what will you own before your time runs out? If this opened your eyes even a little, subscribe and stick with us, because the very next step is learning exactly what to buy first.